What's going on, Phins fans? It is your boy Dillon, and I'm here to make my post-game recap video of the absolute collapse that we just saw. Obviously, not good things. I'm going to try and make it quick because I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. I'm, not in a great headspace. Obviously, the loss was terrible. I'm going to get into that in a second, but, I'm having such a rough time in my personal life right now. I'm not going to go into this super long. I just kind of had a little soapbox with one dude that was in my live stream, but it's just been tough, man. I'm in a hard situation right now. I'm out of work. I'm about to be out of money. Can't find any work and all that good stuff. So I've been stressing, and I may even miss the playoffs too because, I may lose my apartment and stuff before all of that. But anyway, point is I'm having, a bit of a rough time. I'm not going to be watching, into my fellow Dolphins fans, for whatever situation you may be in life. If it is rough to hear what everybody's going to be saying this week, deserved or otherwise, whether it's deserved or not, maybe we deserve it. I don't know, whatever, but there's going to be a lot of shit talking on the national media. I'm not going to watch any of it because frankly, I'm just dealing with way too much in my personal life right now. And I'm, trying not to just like lose it mentally, worrying about how I'm going to find a job and how I'm even going to pay my bills in the middle of this month and not lose my truck and, all that good stuff. So, I'm definitely not going to be watching any of the media and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit of some of the local media stuff, but probably not even that, honestly, because it's just not going to be very good for my mental space. So I say all that just to tell you guys, if it's going to be hard for you, look, mental health is a real thing, and all that stuff, and you got to take care of yourself mentally as well. So if it's going to cause you any kind of distress, just don't even pay attention to it. You know what I'm saying? So with all that said, there's my little, public service announcement, initial disclaimer and whatever. So let's just go ahead and get into this. All right. Let me give this a quick refresh. Hopefully it doesn't like get rid of the stats. It did. So that's lovely. Okay, well, I guess I'll just pull it up on the NFL app as I start talking about this because apparently the game's over and now it doesn't want to tell me. All right, so obviously, there were a lot of issues in this game. I mean, it obviously didn't turn out well for us at all. Score 56-19. They go to 13-3. We're 11-5. Obviously, they lock up the number one seed. I mean, there's just no way we can get it now. It's 100% the Baltimore Ravens. The Bills win today, so obviously next week is going to be for the division. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let me go through this because I brought the stats up on my phone. So Baltimore had 491 total yards. Miami had 375. They had 331 passing. We had 221. They had 160 rushing. We had 154. They had 9 yards per play. We were at 6. Each team lost a fumble. We threw 2 interceptions. They were 57% on third down. We were 40. They had the ball for 30 minutes, 23 seconds. We had it for 29-37. 7 penalties on them, 5 on us. Jackson was 18 for 21, 321 and 5 touchdowns. Huntley ended up coming in 1 for 119 and a touchdown. Gus Edwards 16 for 68 and a touchdown. Justice Hill 3 for 48. Lamar Jackson 6 for 35. Melvin Gordon 6 for 10. Zay Flowers 3 for 106 yards and a score. Justice Hill 5 for 64 and a touchdown. Rashad Bateman 4 for 54. Isaiah Likely 2 for 4 and 2 scores. Odell Beckham 1 for 33. Charlie Kohler 1 for 19 and a touchdown. Nelson Aguilar 2 for 18. And then Patrick Ricard 1 for 4 yards but a touchdown as well. They had the 2 interceptions. I already mentioned that. They had 3 sacks, no tackles for loss. Not a good day. Dolphins, Tua was 22 for 38, 237, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Achane, 14 for 107 rushing yards. Obviously, going into this game, we didn't have Waddle. Mostert ended up being an inactive. Robert Hunt was an inactive, but we had Holland was back. Austin Jackson was back. We ended up losing Bradley Chubb, what looks like could potentially be a season-ending injury for him. It's a knee injury late in the game, and, you know, everybody's giving heat to McDaniel for having him in, or whoever the call was for having him in when we were down 30 points, and it's fair. But just add injury to insult. He goes down. Xavier Howard went down early with a foot injury. Who was the other injury? There was another one. Shit, now I'm blanking on it. I can maybe pull it up on my... Anyway, I don't need this anymore because that's useless. But yeah, so there were injuries. We were coming into it with injuries, but they were coming into it with injuries. I mean, Kyle Hamilton didn't play, right? Like, oh yeah, Tua's got a shoulder injury now. So that's fucking great. You know, just not good stuff. Yeah. So, Jeff Wilson, 3 for 21. Tua had 2 rushes for 14. Chris Brooks, 4 for 14. Hill was 6 for 76. Smythe, 3 of 54. Achane, 4 for 30 and a touchdown. Said Wilson, 2 for 27 and a touchdown. Ingold, 1 for 18. Wilson, 3 for 13. Barrios, 2 for 10. All right, so let's just get rid of that. None of that fucking matters anymore. I gave you the stats that are important. But yeah, so look, I mean, what were the factors in this game? Obviously, give the Ravens a ton of credit. I mean, they're a great team. Obviously, they're now the #1 seed, so that's a huge factor. Injuries weren't really a factor because both teams came in banged up at the end of the day. Both teams lost guys in the middle of it. They had some injuries in the game as well, so that's kind of a wash. At the end of the day, officiating was a wash. I mean, you really can't blame officiating for it. It was really a team letdown overall. There was some bad play calling. There were some, you know, penalties at times. Honestly, though, and if we're being completely honest, to me, the game and full momentum switched when, if I'm not mistaken, we were down 21-13. And it was at the end of the second quarter, towards the end of the half. I think we were down 21-13, right? Maybe it was even 14-13. No, I'm pretty sure it was 21-13. I'm pretty sure it was 20. Yeah, yeah. It was 21-13. It was down to the 2-minute warning, and it was the first interception that Tua threw. Now, obviously, Tua gets some blame for the interception, and obviously, Tua's also going to get some blame for rushing. But to me, the big problem there was rushing. Being in such a hurry. Just let the fucking play clock wind down to the 2-minute warning. You had at least 1, if not 2, timeouts still left. I think they were moving the ball well. I think they were already in field goal range, and they rushed to beat the clock before it hit the 2-minute warning, but everything was rushed. Tua's mechanics were rushed, his throw was rushed, his vision was rushed, and he ended up staring down his receiver because everything was rushed to get the ball off before the fucking 2-minute warning. And at that point, that's where we just completely lost the game. Because at the very least, we should have been able to get 3 points and cut the lead from 21-16, but hopefully you get a touchdown. I mean, you were moving the ball well, certainly earlier on in the game. By the way, there were 2 drop touchdown passes, one for Hill, one for Chase Claypool. Both had the ball. They both should have come down with it. So that was two scores there off the board. But, at that point, he rushed it. He stared down his receiver, and I think it was Patrick Queen. Or maybe it was Smith. I don't fucking remember. It doesn't even really matter. Had an amazing one-handed interception, had a big run back, and then they end up scoring another touchdown, going up 28-13 at that point. The second interception, I'll put that one a little bit more on Tua, but obviously at that point in the game, we're also fucking, down by a few scores. We're definitely pushing it. We're going to have to throw. Also, I wouldn't have called that play though. I thought that was a bad play call. It was in multi-coverage, so that's partly on Tua, but, and then he kind of sailed it a little bit. It also, actually, to be fair, it did get tipped a little bit right before it got to Hill. And that's actually what ultimately made it sail a little bit, or what actually ultimately made it sail over Tyreek. But they just should have run the ball, or, something, I mean, what else is there to say? Honestly, like I said, man, for Dolphins fans, if it's going to be a rough week to listen to the narratives and shit or be on social media, just don't. Just don't. Here's what I will say, though. Look, obviously, unfortunately, the Bills also got their win today. We're going to be going into next week playing for the division. There's no two ways around it. If we win, though, and I still think we will, we're going to be at home. They played a close game today. The Patriots could have potentially got the win. They only won 27-21. I still absolutely think we can beat the Bills. It is what it is. And if we beat the Bills, we're the number 2 seed. So it's not completely doom or gloom. I know it's going to be a rough week for Dolphins fans. It's going to be a rough week for me. Even just from that perspective, leaving my personal stuff out of it. Although that's a complete disaster. And like I said, at this point, I may not even get to watch any of the playoffs because I don't know what I'm going to do in my personal life. But I digress. So point being, though, if it's tough, if it's, hard for you guys, just don't pay attention to it. I'm not going to, because admittedly, I'm not going to be able to deal with that shit. I just got way too much shit going on in my own head and trying to keep my head up and keep fighting just to buy myself more time and figure out something. So, I'm not going to be able to deal with all of that extra noise and shit. I'm just going to, play video games, watch movies. I'm just going to try and do my thing and try and, in my free time, obviously a lot of my days are spent trying to figure out how the fuck I'm going to, find a job. But, besides that, just watch movies, spend time with family and friends like that. I don't really have any, so I can't do that. You guys, I'm sure, can do that. So you guys do that. And then we'll just regroup. You know what I'm saying? We'll obviously check. The injuries are a big deal, but we'll check and see how that plays out over the course of the week. And then look, we just got to come out next week, and whatever the fuck happens or happened this week, we just got to put it behind us, and we got to win the division. We got to beat the Bills. Let's get the number 2 seed, and then we'll go into the playoffs at least having, we should expect 2 home playoff games, and then we'll just take it 1 week at a time from there, and we'll just take it 1 week at a time from right now, right? Let's just beat the Bills. Let's get back home, down to Florida. Let's rest. Let's get guys together. Hopefully Howard can come back. Hopefully Tua's going to be fine, but these are going to be concerns now for, Chubb and Tua, I think, are the biggest concerns going into this last game. So those are going to be things we have to keep an eye on. But let's just flush it all out. Let's just say forget about it. I'm saying forget about it right fucking now because I can't, I'm not going to be able to deal with that shit. So, but flush it out and move on. And like I said, I'll still do, my playoff video this week, although let's keep it real. It's going to be as simple as beat the motherfucking Bills, win the division, end up as the number 2 seed, or you lose the division, you lose the game, lose the division, which would be a disaster. And then I think you'll probably be the 6th seed, maybe 5th. Potentially, I don't know. I guess we can look at that, but that'll be the only real variance in it. So I guess check out that, and then, I'll do my preview video for the Bills game and stuff, and then we'll see if I'm even still around to keep making videos after that, I guess. All right. It's been a rough day. I would appreciate, if you guys could, because one of the many things that I am trying to do is that I'm trying to monetize my channel, although It's highly unlikely I'm going to get... I need 19 subscribers, but I need a lot of watch time on my videos, so it's probably not going to happen within the time I would need it to be, you know, any use to me as of right now, but I am still trying to grow my channel and build it. I have been for 5 years, and this is as far as I've gotten, but I am still trying to keep my head up and grow it. So if you do like my channel and my videos and everything, look, I've been a pessimistic Dolphins fan. I'm trying to be optimistic about it. We'll see how things play out. I still think we have a good chance to beat the Bills next week, so I'm not super worried about that. It was a rough day. Rough day, and you know, maybe some of my current negativity has a lot to do with my personal life, but I'm gonna get out of here. If you guys like my stuff, share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You know, leave comments down in the comment section and all that good stuff. And, yeah, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Fins up. Let's go win the division next week. That's it.
7-7. Miami wins it.